known me for a while as the Pinkie Pie of the group, and welcome to another episode of Bronimaniacs Discuss. I have with me we are Mod Pie of the group, which is Little Looney.
Hello there. Nice to see everyone.
We have our Spike of the group, which is Elite Yoshi.
You want my personal advice? Never get Sprint as your phone plan.
Duly noted.
Duly noted.
Don't get Sprint.
I'll remember that one.
Duly noted. That's why I got Verizon. Anyways, we have our Starlight Glimmer, which is Neon Blade.
Sup, everyone?
We have our Derby Hoops, which is Endless Nonsense.
Hi.
We have our Trixie of the group, which is David.
Hello, I lost my cape. Can you find it for me?
Give us 50 back the cape.
We have our Twilight of the group, which is Sharpwit.
Thank you, MLP. Thanks to you, my list of videos to do is shortened by one position.
Nice.
Well then.
We have our Fluttershy, which is Violet Bloom.
Honestly, don't know what to say. Should I say Emma Rats or Thorber for the ship between Ember and Thorax?
Oh, for crying out loud. Not you too!
Here we go.
Nothing can stop the ship.
Alright, and we have ourselves a brand new member of the Bronimaniacs podcast. Please welcome our Coco Pamel Scapegoats.
Hello, everyone.
And we also have a special guest. One who's taking a trip to Germany right now. Please welcome aboard Astro.
Where the heck did I join in? Fine, I'll do the...
Welcome to the sandbox. You smell very clean.
You'll get used to it.
I was just cleaning my sniper, and I just went for the door, and I popped into here.
Hey, you know the deal when you wanted to go with me to the Gamescom, buddy. So you have to go through that.
Okay, but...
Anyways, the episode we'll be discussing today will be a triple threat. And no, there is no triple threat here, that's just the title of the episode. Just want to make that clear. So,
Why was it called triple threat anyway?
So,
yeah, I'm still baffling about what they're actually aiming with that title.
So,
really?
So we know the full deal. We go in a random order for one thing we do like about the episode. But then we will go in reverse order for one thing we don't like. But then we will give our final thoughts. So,
Got it, you two?
So, up first shall be... You know what? Since this is an episode focused on Spike, why don't you start us off, Yoshi?
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 Are you there?
What? Well, am I going first?
Yep.
Wake up, sleepyhead!
No, I said it's something I had to take care of outside, so...
It's okay, it's okay.
Alright.
I had to do the same thing before I came in.
Alright, my positive?
Yep, one positive.
Well, I gotta say,
Good luck,
I think Dr. Wolf said it best. This episode is probably one of the most unique entries into the series thus far. You know, I mean, it's something that the fans have wanted for a very long time, you know? It's like... But if I were to give my positive for this episode, I gotta say, I definitely thoroughly enjoyed that one scene with Thorax and Amber.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, but
that was probably the highlight of the entire episode for a lot of people.
Which one are you talking about? Is it the one by themselves or the
Thorax,
one...
Forax is he's the new changeling leader, and Ember is the one who became Dragon Lord. You know, after she won the Dragon Gauntlet in the season 6 episode Gauntlet of Fire.
That was Spike.
I meant like
Well,
during the
but he gave it.
episodes. Sorry, it's just like I meant like during the episode. There's 2 moments of that where it's Spike and where it's Ember and Forax. Is it the one by the pond or is it the one?
The one.
The one at the pond.
Yeah,
Okay.
the pond.
Okay.
Yeah,
the shipping fuel.
Yeah, I knew that.
Stop it, you.
Okay.
Moving on.
Yeah, I don't know why. It just seems like the two work off each other pretty well as a duo.
I'll give them that. They really do.
Yeah. I mean, you can definitely see that they're total opposites, but yet they go together so well. I mean, Amber is the more assertive, authoritative type, and Forax is the more shy and the kind and shy changeling that he's grown up to be since his premiere in season 6.
Yep, true. And,
I don't know why. I just love that scene so much.
You know what I also do like, Yoshi?
What?
They're both leaders and they're trying to help each other out. How to be a good leader.
Yep.
Yeah.
And not only that, Van, they're both new leaders.
Yeah, that makes it
That's the good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
There is one thing I wanted to say as well is that this episode, I'll tell you my one. I'll tell it later, but I have something that I want to point out something later when it gets to my turn.
All right.
Okay.
So, if you're finished, Yoshi, who do you pass it off to?
All right. Well, Astro, do you want to give it a go?
I don't mind going last. I don't mind.
All right.
Well, then your turn, my friend.
I have to pick. Do I have to pick someone else?
Oh.
You want to go last, Astro?
Yeah, I don't mind going last.
All right.
Everyone else do this.
Okay.
Okay. All right, then I'll pass it to Sharpwit then.
Oh, I'm surprised.
Some Spike.
Okay, let's see. Because to be honest, actually, the list of things I like in this episode is quite long, and can't decide which one. Maybe. Oh yeah, I don't have to do the theory about Starlight being called by the map because Spike was called. Yay! One video left to do.
Ooh.
No, okay. That was the. Jesus, I'm turning into keyframe.
Hey,
Maybe
as long as you don't grow taller, that's all we should actually worry about. I mean, think about it. Shop with keyframes figurine? Oh god. God, the implications, bruh.
Sounds like some not the best fusion.
Not really. Somebody get the brain breach.
God.
Got a bottle right here.
Oh boy.
Anyway, for my positive, yeah, I think I go with the fact that the map is actually expanding a little bit with the who can be called by it. And like I said, it's not just because of I have one less video to do because my schedule is pretty tight right now. But yeah, this is the only thing that literally caught me off guard in this episode. And Violet was pretty much with me on this because we saw this episode together and our jaw was on the floor, almost breaking it through.
I have to say this, and this is actually true, I believe. And I don't know. When I heard about Spike, when I saw that Spike was on the map, it was like, really? For a friendship problem, I didn't know. And then during when it's like saying like when they said you caused the problem, but then you partly fixed it, it shows the show is now developing to a point where problems can be caused by themselves, and they had to fix the problem by themselves sometimes.
That is actually a legitimate point. That's true. I actually didn't think about it at first.
Yeah, that is a really good point.
That doesn't change my thoughts on it, any.
Yeah, we'll expand upon that a little more.
Exactly.
You drink your brony tears right now. There you go. Brony tears. There you go.
Harder than my friend.
Anyways.
So yeah. So who should I pass it off to? You know, maybe let's go with the tradition, and I'll pass it off to British Ninja.
Oh?
Hey?
Surprisingly, I didn't pick you.
Not really? But you do realize that this joke could actually go to Astro because he is actually from Britain?
Yeah, I am from Britain too.
Well, he's also the snipers are basically an assassins, but so I wasn't that far. Well, no, yeah, Astro is one to go last. Let's see. You know what? Venom, you go on.
For me?
Yeah, you.
Okay,
That'll be interesting.
what do I like about the episode? Okay. Can we all agree, well, most of us agree that the highlight of the episode was Ember arguing about how Twilight and Starlight are a lot like each other?
Oh, that was so meta.
So meta right there.
That was amazing. I love that.
Back when they revealed Starlight, or even if before Sunset, basically they were called by the foil for Twilight with pretty much the same name.
Yeah.
Ember completely new extent with the saying that it is literally the same character.
Whoever was being butt out, can they speak, please?
Who?
Oh,
Because I think someone was getting butt out, and I want them to talk as well.
Okay.
I don't. No, because it was just that there was like 3 people talking at once, kind of. That's all.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
That's fine. No, that's fine. I just wanted to point that out.
But anyways, as if the show couldn't get any more meta than it did last week.
Well, in comparison to last week, I'm not sure.
Well,
yeah, compared to last week, this one was nothing, but still.
Exactly.
It expanded on it, as I should say.
Mm.
It was just so meta. I'm just thinking, that's a lot of Starlight haters were kept like complaining about. Like, oh my god! At first it was like, oh my gosh, this is totally Sunset Shimmer 2.0, and nowadays it's like, oh my gosh, this is season 1 Twilight all over again. What the heck?
That's actually true, and I actually kind of like that take on meta stuff, so to speak.
Yeah, I like that. I really like
it.
That.
It's subtle, but it's still on the point, so to speak.
Yep.
Here's some more tears. Here's the, here's some more tears. There you
go. I'll pass.
No, I'm giving it to anyone else.
So,
Sorry.
If you don't mind, I'm gonna change the hashtag for hashtag developmental season to hashtag meta season.
You're sure about that? Otherwise, MLP will turn on to the next Overwatch.
Play of the game. Monkey!
Anyways, that's about all for me. So I'm gonna pass it off to Little Looney.
Right. Well, Yoshi kind of already took my positive load.
Away, yeah.
You can always expand on it.
Oh, by now I'm a huge fan of Ember, so I'm really pleased you returned for another episode. Well, I wish you would have returned in a better episode. My favorite part was the scene between her and Thorax. I like how they came to realize what they share in common with each other in their interactions in that scene where they were by the pond. I like how both of them were unsure of how to handle their new roles as leaders. I felt like it showed a good chemistry between the both of them and gave them some more character development. Something I haven't really seen on the show in quite a long time, some good character development like that. Since all the main six have been fully fleshed out, Spike's been fully fleshed out, the Kingmark Crusaders have been fleshed out, all their orcs are now over, so I like how they're starting to focus more on some of the side characters. And I, for one, would love to see more of that.
Yeah, me too.
So, about that hashtag Venom.
Hey,
What hashtag?
Hey, I never said I was gonna change it. I said I was considering it.
What hashtag are you talking about?
The developmental season turned into meta season.
How about the compromise? Development and meta season.
Yeah, why can't it be both?
Exactly.
Also,
Because
Both is good.
anyways, I just thought of a joke that I didn't make until my second viewing. You know how spikes were glowing, like flashing when the map called him?
Yes.
No.
Well, okay, I can interpret that in two ways. First off, wow, that's quite a light show. Are you sure Neon isn't involved?
Ha ha!
And I think I like the second one the most. Hey, are you sure internet doesn't exist in Equestria? Because Spike was a pretty good router.
No, Discord clones had cell phones a couple episodes ago.
You got mail.
I'm sure that would be better rather than my current one.
Well, to be fair, all those Discord clones had cell phones a few episodes ago, so they could have him there.
Good point.
Good point.
Although that's Discord.
Yeah.
But anyways, anything else, Mooney?
No, that's about it.
Who do you pass it off to?
I'm gonna pass it off to, see, who's already been?
Yoshi, Sharp, and myself.
Alright, so I'm gonna pass it off to Violet Bloom.
Okay, so positive for the episode. Let's see here. Honestly, I have to say my favorite part has got to be when the Twilight and Spike were talking with each other. You know, when they were a little panicking with what's going on.
It could be worse. It could be Twilight's chair moment.
Yeah.
I hope they don't turn the whole Twilight's chair thing into a meme.
Oh, you
Hashtag
bet it
Jellight
will.
Possible.
You have no idea.
Hashtag Jellight Sparkle.
Oh my god!
Well, they are already
Light sparkle.
Twilight in her chair, but those are a little bit not safe for work.
You can sit on it, but you can't take it with you.
Well, I heard a rumor that Twilight's chair can vibrate.
Anyway.
Jesus, Ven, you seriously have to go there?
Anyway.
Roll 69.
Anyway. Yeah, I have to say I like the fact that the roles have been switched because usually Spike is the one trying to calm down a freak out Twilight. Now it's the other way around.
Yeah, now it's the other way around. That's actually pretty cool. That's actually pretty good. Anyways, who do you pass it off to if you're finished?
I pick up the scapegoat.
Alright, scapegoat, you're up.
One of the moments I liked in the episode, even though it was could be seen a bit mean of it, Derpy's face when Ember crushed that whole muffin right on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that got a good laugh.
Warning, this episode contains muffin murder. It was harming the maker as well. These are their stories. Ding ding.
Don't mess with the muffin mayor.
It was just funny to see Derpy's reaction to her. Like, is this what you do with it?
like the way she dies inside in that one look. I know what you mean by that.
How could this happen to me?
Exactly. I was about to say that it's sooner or later we will get that meme.
Yeah.
No, there should be information at the end of the episode. No muffin was heard during the production of this episode.
You know, they should have actually done that. That would be the topic on the cake if they would actually have done that.
Actually, to be honest, here's a question for you. If the directors are going to call Derpy Muffin, why would they not say, no, muffins were harmed in the making of it? Wait, Derpies were... No, okay. That's
Why not actually putting in a Pinkie Pie moment like my muffin sense is tingling?
Oh my goodness.
That would be actually fitting too.
Mm.
Yeah, I just liked it because of the expressions both had in the scenes.
Yeah,
like she's grinning happy, like she did something good, and she's like, why?
I didn't really
exactly.
I didn't really laugh at that moment, but at the same time, I couldn't help but be amused.
I don't know why, but I kind of had the same expression of Derpy when I was watching Toon's live stream, especially when he's driving a Mario Kart 8. Sorry if I'm pointing that out, but it's just the fact.
Anyways.
Anyone else just want to give Derpy a hug during that scene?
That's true.
Who did he pass it off to?
Who's left?
Yoshi, Sharp, myself, Booney, and Violet are the ones who went. So who's left? Well, Astro wants to go last. Other than that, there's Endless, Dion, and David.
I'll go with Endless.
Alright.
Makes sense to me.
Alright, so I really liked Thorax in this episode.
Oh.
Okay.
No.
Thorax.
So.
Yeah, I've been like a fan of him for a while.
Thorax at first was kind of hit or miss for me. Not that he was bad or anything. There were some aspects of him that just didn't interest me. But he's growing on me a little bit.
Yeah, like, I think we're seeing more of his personality here. Like, I mean, the shy part we already knew, but like, he likes fire, and
like a
I think the scene with the fire was actually more like those bug lights, you know, like the insects are running into the light, kind of like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of thought that too.
Yeah.
I was kind of very worried that he's not burning himself like that.
No, Thorax, no! Don't go into the lights!
It's so beautiful! It seems like sort of like the moth and flame thing.
Oh god, I just have the picture in my head right now.
Go, Arby, draw that right now.
Oh my god.
Oh god, you guys are so mean-spirited sometimes.
I think we got Leon.
And I like that. And I like that. Even though he is shy, he defended Spike when like he felt Spike was in danger. Like he turned into a bear. That part was awesome. I did not see that coming.
No,
I actually also like this Thorax in this episode for two reasons. One, we actually know that changeling are still able to shape shift. So this is still not a dream, so this is confirmed.
Yep.
Hashtag confirmed.
Yep, that's awesome.
And two, I actually like the fact that they are actually showing that Thorax didn't immediately turn into a super duper extra leader who is a perfect leader, but he actually struggles with his new role. He's not it's not like the change immediately changed also his personality and how he reacts.
Sorry.
After what you did there.
Anyways, yeah, I hope you get my point. That is about the fact that he didn't really become a great leader by the metamorphosis.
Yeah.
So he doesn't become a male Mary Sue, so to speak.
Kind of. In this case, yeah.
Yeah, Gary Sue. Sorry.
Yeah, like he's still facing problems. Like some changelings aren't really into the whole not feeding off love anymore thing. And
Yeah, I'm surprised nobody pointed that out. Because that's also a great thing. Because that also means there is the same rule applied to other changelings. It's not like the all changelings who were in the hive right now immediately became good. No, there are still changelings who are still prefer the old way of life.
Along with half of the fandom.
Yeah, that's true. Although some of the reaction of the fandom is a little bit offsetting, to be honest.
I miss the old changelings, to be honest.
Anyways.
I'm only wondering if those rebellious changelings are the reformed form or the still old form. Well, spoilers. But so not going like that.
Alright. Who do you pass off to unless? Either Neon or David.
And David.
Alright, you're up, David.
Oh, okay, it's my turn. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So we're doing positives. Let's see. My positive for this episode is the arrival of Amber.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know how she you know how she flew through the sky and she landed and she got all that fanfare?
Yeah.
Yay, superhero landing.
I thought that was a great, excellent entrance for her return. You know, she just swooshed in and she landed and she got a parade. And the first thing that she says is like, way too much color. I thought that was absolutely hilarious. Way too much color, guys. Come on, tone down the color. She's not used to Ponyville. You know, she's not used to all the colorful ponies and you know, so I thought that was
All the bunny hugs.
Yeah.
She's not used to that many colors, and yet she still couldn't recognize the difference between Starlight and Twilight.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that scene is probably pretty much of a trigger for every artist as well, at least in the fandom.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true. They're both purple and sparkles on their butts. So.
Yeah.
Technically, it's glimmers, but
cutie mark confusion.
It's another thing. Well, it's a glimmer. What's the difference?
What is it?
It's like, what's the difference between your cutie marks?
Anyway.
So, that's my positive. Just her entrance to the show.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess Neon's up next.
Was about to say that. My turn.
Yes.
Well, most of the good parts, which I wanted to point out as well, has been said already. But for me, honestly, was like the bluntness of the characters in the humor. That was actually what I liked the most. If it's from the burn of Amber with the colors, from just being blunt from Starlight, like I like her, just like the bluntness in the whole episode itself. I really enjoyed that because it shows a little bit more of overall characters of them. So kind of like a little bit of it's a little bit far-fetched, but kind of like of a dark side, so to speak. Like a little bit, what's the word for it? Not gestrish. My English is failing me again. God damn it. Well, kind of like. So kind of like making it kind of like they're up for a joke as well. They are not as stiff in their character. That's what I meant.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah, like they're more open.
Exactly. That's what I meant. Yeah. and I think that actually fits for the episode overall as well, because if you put it in for Amber and Thorax, they are not actually used to it, and it makes sense in that part. But for the others, it's like they should know it, or they should actually not behave like that. But because they behave like it, it fits into it altogether.
I see what you mean.
Mm-hmm. So that's actually what I liked about the episode the most.
Alright, that leaves Astro.
Yep, take it away, buddy.
Yeah. Well, this episode was quite a unique episode because not only it was like a Spike episode, it was also a 4-act and Ember episode, mixing with a lot of other characters. And I think one of my best parts, and I wanted to say this because I felt like this was kind of like my scenario. I was more like a 4X. I'm not kind of like a dominant person, I'm more like a submissive person. And I feel like this episode, I think the best is probably 4X, showing that he admits that, yeah, he's not a dominant person, and he is a polite person. You know, pony. I say person, pony. Ugh, I don't care. Anyway,
We've all done that.
he's so polite. He's, you know, that kind of thing. He wants everyone to treat everyone with respect, and that's what I'm like. And I would say the best episode is probably seeing 4X being protective and showing his dominance when they meet Spike at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's probably the only good thing I have about it. Also another good thing, there's no song. For goodness sakes. A break from the songs.
Yeah, okay, but to be honest, they actually had their self-awareness in that one episode already, so I didn't see it as that much of a big positive, so to speak. And also, now that you pointed that out, it kind of reminded me of my USA trip when I was with Josh, with the whole scenario with the demo going on after the first day. It's actually kind of like that, only the opposite way.
Yeah.
I see what you mean.
I'm more...
Now, it just came to me, like, when Astro was pointing that out. Sorry if I'm interrupting like that.
That's fine.
Yeah, I thought something that wasn't touched upon that was interesting.
Okay.
4-act showed in his speech that not all changelings did get reformed.
Yeah, which I'm glad to see.
So confirmed not everything got reformed.
I'm actually curious to see if they are reformed by form, but not by the way of life, or they are both are not reformed, and they are still edgy.
And there's still Queen Chrysalis out there, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I'm hoping that there is like an episode about like the changelings who feel flow versus changelings who don't.
Spoilers.
By the way, I just thought of something real quick. You know that one of the Triad's freakouts in that Celestial advice about one of the changelings going rogue?
Yeah? What about it?
Oh my gosh, that ideology turned out to be right.
True. That's actually true.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah, I was going to say that, but you know, spoilers.
Anyway.
I didn't really know it was till mentioned.
Anyways, Astro, if you're all set for the positive, now we're going in reverse on you gotta name one thing that you don't like.
I would say probably what I didn't like is that the whole... Well, I feel like this episode was... there was a lot of good about it. But the only thing I didn't like was when some people... When it was like... When Ember thought of Starlight as Twilight and then complains that they look similar, even though they're not. I kind of hated it because it's like... Dragons are not that stupid. They know what's what. They know what colours each, because Starlight is more of a pinkish purple. Twilight is a purple. And she said they're both purple, which confused me because didn't she already know what the difference is? And it just made me upset seeing that kind of thing.
So you mean kind of like the put in that's stupidity on purpose?
Yeah.
Okay, I know where you're coming from with that.
I felt like it was kind of like is she trying to say that Starlight's like a recolor of Twilight. That's
Also,
what I'm
Starlight.
upset.
Also, Starlight doesn't have wings. Did you not notice that?
That's what I'm trying to say. They made Ember that during that point dumb and dumbed down. It was not. To be honest, it was not what I like. I thought Ember was more smarter, more understanding, and yeah, she needs to learn about. But I say overall, I think when she did that, they made her wrong at that point, but then made it up for the rest of the episode. I think that was the only point I was upset about.
It's like forced stupidity, so to speak.
Yeah, just being forced to make it look her look stupid, and we lost someone.
We lost Yoshi.
Oh.
To expand on your negative, Astro, granted that trope was used pretty often before.
I was actually... Sorry, I was actually going to pass it to you.
Actually...
No, we go in reverse
order. Are we going in reverse order?
Okay,
that's
sorry.
already set,
My
so
bad.
I would be the next one then. But go ahead, Sharp, what do you wanted to say?
Yeah, like there was one episode in Doctor Who, the Tenant Doctor, when there was one scene with the Sontaran and the unit soldier. And the soldier was saying, "He looks like a potato," and the Doctor's response was for that, and for him, you look like a weasel. Yeah, that was a there was that scene like that in the Doctor Who.
Yeah, it's sadly one of the common usage of that in many TV shows, not only in MLP.
Yeah, let's face it, MLP is pretty much known for using the classic tropes.
Oh boy, don't get me started.
That's true.
I'm not.
Anyway, so that was the only thing that was up. I'll pass it back to Neon. Ready?
Yep. Go ahead, Neon.
Alright. One negative of the episode. To be honest, that's actually quite hard for me. I didn't have anything that bugs me that much. Maybe... maybe the fact that we only get like an hint on how the situation is with the changeling and not really like a visual of the whole changeling being rogue stuff. I think that's the only thing that upsets me a bit.
Don't say it, Sharp.
Yeah, I know, but dang it.
Shut, wait. Shut, I just had to say this.
What? Did I hit a wound point on your Sharpie?
Oh.
Come on now, let's all be smart now. Let's all be calm now.
Yeah.
Ah, come on. Between me and Sharpwit, it's just good fun. We know that.
Yep.
Yeah, technically my call lagged because there were multiple messages on other channels, so I didn't hear you. So sorry.
I'm sorry. I just said, did I found a wound point in your Sharpie?
Balto will be proud of you, Neon.
And just like that, you've earned a new mark from Stalker.
Dude, I got my modifications right here. I just say, bring it on, buddy.
Dude,
Anyway.
me versus Vector.
Anyway.
Yeah, but kind of like that foreshadowing without any maybe visual entrance. I kind of missed that opportunity. Like, Thorax was actually legitimate explaining something, and I thought maybe we could get somewhat of a flashback or insight in that whole situation. Like, having actually a view into the changeling in this situation. That would be actually a good point for Ember as well.
Yeah, good point.
Even I think the scene at the point would be even better if put it there.
But again, we're getting back to the old problem of 22 minutes long episode.
Well, it would have worked if they had just put in the flashback instead of just them
But
talking.
then they couldn't. But to be fair, they couldn't put the Ember's expression and Thorax.
Good point.
Yeah, good point, actually.
It's a classic example of give or take.
Yeah, like I said, it's not really a negative for me. It's just like a missed opportunity, so to speak.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
That's actually the only thing I'm really I'm a bit upset about, so to speak.
And Astro, I'm hearing background noise.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
That's okay.
I think your sensibility is a bit too high.
Yeah, apologies.
But anyways, anything else, Neon?
No, that will be all.
Alright, David?
Okay, I'm back again.
Yep.
Okay, so yes.
And he's not an man.
Why do you guys
Sorry.
do this to me? I want to run away now.
No, get back here.
Okay. My negative for this episode was Spike, basically.
Okay.
I thought he was rather, he was all over the place. You know, he was beginning of the episode. He was with his checklist, and he was, fine. And then, as soon as Ember and Thorax came into the scene, into the episode, he started to get all confused and all panicky. And, I don't like that about him, even though he had his reasons.
Yeah.
But, that was my negative for the character of Spike. I was just like, calm down, Spike. You got this. I mean, you helped Twilight and Starlight in the previous episodes, and now you're all panicky and emotional, So I was just like, that was so negative, I was just, sorry, Spike. I'm sorry.
Well, to be fair, when did actually Starlight or Twilight actually be a political speak person for an entire race?
Not shown, anyway.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
So I kind of have to step in defense for you.
Yeah.
Does Princess Spike count?
Does potty poop count?
Hang on, Party Poop wasn't it? Oh wait.
Potty poop was when
Those are the Yaks visited Ponyville.
That's actually half and half because Pinky had some of the big responsibility there too. So it's hard to say it was only on Twilight's end.
Well, Pinky was supposed to only entertain the Yaks, and Twilight was supposed to speak with them. I think.
But that didn't work out.
Yeah, good point.
Blame Twilight for taking something more than she can chew, especially since it's behind Celestia's back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
That's a good point, actually.
Yeah.
Anyways, anything else, David?
No, that's all from me. So was Endless, right?
Alright, it's hard to pinpoint what I actually don't like about the episode, because I want to like it, but it feels all over the place to me.
Okay. How come?
There's Thorax and Ember meeting, I don't know.
So, have you got anything in this, or do you want to pass it on?
Well, I don't really feel that the whole map thing was necessary. Like, it feels like something that Spike couldn't figure it out by himself.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
And
he's
it
the one
would've
that caused the
cut
problem.
Plus, it will cut some extra time because Spike won't be running around trying to find the friendship problem when it's right in front of his face.
Well, granted, we actually had one or two situations like that, and it actually didn't help the episode as well.
Yeah.
So, though I do admit, the scene with Lyra and Bonfire was pretty good.
Oh, yeah. I totally forgot about them.
Yeah, Lyra actually spoke for the first time since Slice of Life.
And Bon was quiet.
Hang on. Was that really the last time she spoke?
I'm
Yep.
not kidding.
How did I miss that detail? Wow, okay.
Well, that's the detail. That's the thing with them.
Yep.
That...
Well,
Oh, haha, Sharpie.
Yes.
I don't think Slice of Life was the last time they spoke, though. There was one of those Equestria shorts where they spoke.
But that doesn't count.
Don't count.
No, the Equestria girls, they don't really count in the, the two sides.
No, they don't. Anyways. Anything else, Endless?
No, I'm good.
Alright, Scapegoat?
In my opinion, I thought there was a bit too many scene transitions in the episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That did kind of throw me off.
To be fair, we usually with that trope of like this, it's usually the thing that many scenes jumps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think for me it didn't bother me that much because it was part of the comedy, so to speak.
Yeah. I don't know. Some of the times it felt like they could have quite a few, but did they need that many?
Mm,
Yeah.
I see what you mean.
I do. Anything else, Scapegoat?
That's pretty much it.
Alright, Violet?
I think Spike had gotten some of Twilight's obliviousness.
You think?
No.
After all these years, Spike has been the one in the voice of reason. Now he got some of Twilight's obliviousness. Ugh.
Dear Spike, what's wrong with you?
London sample.
Yeah, I'll begin to that. I'll begin to that when we reach my negative.
Can I ask you a quick question, guys?
What?
Does anyone know who wrote the episode?
Yeah, Josh Hamilton.
Good point.
Josh Hamilton, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The same guy that wrote Wendell Gliders.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
That would explain why Ball Twist cringed a lot.
Hmm.
Anything else you want to
But in that case, I have to say it's actually pretty good then, from the writing.
Yeah. Anything else?
Looking
Violet?
at... Oh, sorry.
You're fine, dude.
Go ahead, Astro.
I was going to say, did you know that was actually his second episode he's writing from MLP?
Yeah, we just brought that up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Never a step down for me.
Yeah. But he also read the credits. He was including the Avatar and the Legend of Korra.
Oh, that's the second Avatar.
Yeah.
Ah.
He was one of the writers for them, so I see what he's done there. He's tried to bring it back to its old ways into the MLP, which is alright.
Right. Hold on.
What?
Oh, nothing. I was just trying to look at his writing credits. But anyways, anything else, Violet?
No, I'm good.
Alright.
Hang on. Venomous, did you said you looked at the flank?
No.
Okay, my brain just set up there for a second, sorry. I was like, what the heck?
No, it's just that me and Neon haven't eaten anything yet. So.
That's fine. And Astro, you are correct. He did write for Avatar: The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra. And he also wrote for Voltron.
Yeah,
Oh!
I think
Which
that's,
Voltron?
The newer one, I think.
Yeah, the Netflix one.
so you see the reason.
Yeah.
You can actually see how it happened. I'm not gonna lie, you can actually see how he, with that episode when he wrote for them and to now, he tried to bring some of that into MLP, which I won't blame him. I mean, it's a good thing to try. MLP is always looking to try and expand and grow bigger.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, as long as it doesn't turn into a clusterfuck like that one episode.
Yeah.
What one episode?
Honest Apple.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Anything else?
The episode that destroyed Applejack's character.
Not only that.
Yeah.
I'm good, Venom. You can pass it back.
Alright, Looney, you're up.
Alright. Well, other than the fact that this episode suffers from the same problem that Spike episodes always suffer from, you know, his mistakes being the cause of the conflict.
Okay, you mean the more...
Yeah, you kind of stole
You
my
first.
point.
Spike being the cause of the conflict, we get 20 minutes of cringe as Spike tries to fix everything by himself, but that's not my main problem with this episode. The worst part was the map. Do they really need to shoehorn the map into this episode? I could write a map called Starlight Glimmer and the Whale Problems. I follow the headcanon that she's kind of a seventh element, but seriously, the map is supposed to be connected to the jazz, which is connected to the Tree of Harmony, and to the elements respectively, which Spike was never a part of. But then you had to search all over.
That's a good point.
Then you had to search all over Ponyville for a button that was right in front of his face. I feel like it was an incredibly forced waste of the map that was only there to make Spike look completely oblivious.
Hold on,
Guys,
Looney.
Why? Why?
Hold on, Looney. I may have a theory on how Spike got connected to the map. I have a theory.
Ow.
It's a
Okay, explain it to me.
It's a bit of a stretch, but I think this might explain it. Do you all remember Return of Harmony Part 2?
Yeah, I remember.
Where Twilight
It was
and Alice were trying to use the elements the first time around, while the main six were...
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, and Twilight called Spike the new Rainbow Dash. Yeah, I remember.
what if that somehow had Spike got a piece of the bond to the elements, which in turn was connected to the tree, which in turn was connected to the castle, which is connected to the map.
Half a stretch, but I see where you're going with that.
That's a big stretch right there.
Again, it's
Theory that's not that.
Again, it's a stretch, but I think that might explain it.
Well, can I explain my theory?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, actually, this theory wasn't originally mine. It actually came from a comment from Sharpwit's collab review with Gray.
Okay.
Okay.
And that theory is, what if the reason why Starlight and Spike were called by the map was because they were really close friends with Twilight, who is the princess of friendship. The owner of the castle and the one that brought the main six together in the first place.
So
That is actually a good point.
Yeah,
It kind of ties into my theory as well.
Yeah, that's a very good point there, Violet.
I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to do with the element bearers itself. I mean, the connections they are doing and they are creating, they are much as important as their bearers itself.
Well, there's also another theory that might be not that much of a stretch.
And that would be?
That would be?
Spike has his throne in the throne room, correct?
Yes.
Actually, he does.
So that's all the theory.
Huh.
Okay, that's
I was thinking the
actually
first
pretty
time.
easy theory, to be honest.
That's why it's not a stretch.
I actually have a bit of a theory too.
I think honestly about the map itself, which could actually explain a lot of the behavior, is that okay, the tree and the map itself were connected with the elements of harmony. That's completely reasonable, and I don't say anything against it. But if we think back of the season 5 finale, the map was also the connection point from all those possible futures, right?
Right.
Right.
So that means that the map or the tree, which is not really existent anymore, or not canon shown at least, is actually the hard point for the magic itself. I mean, the subtitle of the show is "Friendship is Magic," so it could actually be that the map can sense higher distresses, which could cause bigger problems in itself. I mean, Spike's fear about a war between those two species is not far-fetched.
No, it's not.
And such a form of disharmony and something that could cause of that could be a big problem. So maybe it's kind of like it is a cheap way, I have to say that, but maybe it's kind of like a self-mechanism for the magic flow itself.
That's possible.
Yeah, I was sort of thinking maybe the map is gaining some sentience on these things.
That's the split point where I'm actually thinking about. I'm not thinking that the map or the tree is actually sentient, which would be kind of like godlike. I'm actually
Not
more
that
thinking
far.
that it's more artificially.
I thought it's like learning, sort of like a baby.
Exactly.
What is it? What is that? Is it supposed to be the Kitty map or the Heart of Atlantis?
I think those two things could be pretty close to each other. Maybe even more than we all think of.
Maybe.
Either that, or the writers really don't know what to do with the map.
Well,
I'll just go with that theory.
That's man, you guys always take the easy way out. Jesus, it's kind of like 250cc in Mario Kart. Yeah,
Oh
God,
my
no
God.
more. 200cc or nothing.
Anyways, anything else, Looney?
Yeah, that's all I got to say. Y'all make some pretty good points, but I still feel it was very forced.
I know what you mean.
That was forced, but anyways, I guess I'll go next then.
Mm-hmm.
Well, good, because Looney almost stole my point.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Anyways, but I do get what Looney was said before. If this is the biggest biggest turn off for me. This is actually my biggest negative.
And it is?
I know what the writers were trying to do and everything, and Dr. World's review did put in a new perspective, but did it feel like a very typical Spike episode to all of you?
It did. Why,
Yeah,
Rob? You
pretty
were
much.
doing so great in
Yeah,
season 5
pretty
with
much.
Spike, and now you have to back with the old route.
Yeah, episodes with Spike where Spike is causing the problem, they usually don't go that well.
Yeah.
Honestly, I actually didn't. I didn't have that feeling that much.
I did, and
I
that's
did.
also what contradicts with
I
my
did.
negative.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, I can see where you're coming from with this point, but I think the reason why I didn't bother that much was just the fact that Thorax and Ember were still the main point of the episode, even though that Spike was causing the problem.
I see what you mean. But,
I mean, okay,
Yeah.
it is in somewhat a typical Spike episode. Oh boy, maybe typical is the wrong term here. I think.
no, it's just
I'm hearing background noise.
yeah.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. My
That's
bad.
okay. It just felt like a very standard Spike episode, and I'm not talking about like season 6 Spike episodes. Those were fantastic. I'm talking about like
Yeah.
like Princess Spike or Owls.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's why
Oh
this.
yeah, right. Season
this
6. I
episode
meant.
was way better.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It is better.
Yeah,
than,
yeah.
It is better than the 3 I mentioned. I'll give it that.
Mm,
Yeah, season 6, because I probably said season 5. He was doing good with Spike, right?
Season 5 did not do that good with Spike.
No, he didn't.
think you
but
mean season 6.
did a great job for Spike.
6 did a great job. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mix them. I mix them up too sometimes.
Yeah, season 6.
Yeah,
was
but
like,
that's what I meant. To say it's a typical Spike episode is a little bit harsh, to be honest.
well, think about it.
But I'm seeing where you're coming from with that.
Think about it. Okay, Spike is one of the main focuses of the episode. He ends up causing a conflict in a forced matter. And the problem is, he leaves it up to the ponies to solve the problem, even though he tries anyway. And the problem ultimately gets resolved by not Spike himself, but others around him. Rinse and repeat.
Mm,
I mean, Spike.
true. Yeah.
I'll give Spike credit. In fact, he keeps trying to fix the problem himself. I'll give him credit. But ultimately, it wasn't coming down to Spike himself. I mean, those two could have easily talked to each other and patched things up like they did in the ending. If they did just that much early on, the episode would have been a lot shorter. So the whole conflict itself kind of felt extremely forced.
Mm. Yeah, that's true.
That's all I gotta say. Sharp, you're up.
So, to little expand on your negative, I would say the conclusion is my negative because.
Okay.
And to be more specific, Spike saying, "Hey, I've solved the friendship problem." No, you didn't solve the friendship problem. Not only you caused the friendship problem you were supposed to fix, but also the Thorax and Ember. You were supposed to fix you were supposed to fix friendship problem between them, but they fixed the friendship problem instead of you. Seriously, Spike.
Okay, I can definitely see what you mean by that.
I can too. In fact, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, that part was confusing.
Anything else, Chocolate?
Not currently, at least.
So I thought one thing, him getting them pissed off is the catalyst that brought them together.
Boy.
Oh boy.
Anyways, Yoshi, you're up.
Finally, yeah. So, okay. So, let's see. So,
Yoshi?
Yoshi?
Yoshi, you there?
But I think it's time. I think
Hello?
it's time that I address one of the elephants in the room when it comes to this episode.
And that would be
the cringe comedy.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, you see, I've been reading through a lot of reviews for this episode specifically, and the cringe comedy has been one of the biggest complaints with the episode. And this kind of does overlap into Looney's negative a bit, to an extent. So, see, with the problem, I got to agree with some of the fans. Most of the cringe comedy, from what I've heard, has come from attempts to keep Thorax and Amber separated from one another. It's just, I know it's, some people believe that the...
Yeah, Yoshi, you were sounding robotic there.
Yeah, quite.
Hashtag Robo Yoshi.
Yeah, I agree with that. Probably only racism that I can actually What?
We keep telling you you're sounding robotic, but yet you kept going like some kind of phonograph.
You're like, are you on autopilot?
You were lagging so much.
It's not my fault. It's my phone connection.
Yeah,
it's okay. It's okay. It was just
like I said, don't get Sprint as a phone. Don't trust Sprint.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you could repeat what you were saying, because we didn't catch that much from it. Pretty much.
Can you hear? Am I coming in all right?
It sounds
yeah,
better.
we can hear you now.
Now you're okay.
Okay.
And now it's gone.
So, with the box with, it's been considered to be one of the biggest complaints with the episode, and I actually agree with it.
Yeah, the comedy is not that great.
Yeah, and it, like I said, this kind of ties, and it kind of ties into Little Looney's negative for the episode, the weak plot. I mean, granted, it's not all terrible. I mean, there were some nitpicks that I have with it, but like, did they really need to include the comedy? I mean, the show has proven before that you can actually have a fantastic episode without even needing to have a comedical moment in it.
That's true.
Yeah, but the thing for me is that the cringe is kind of unnecessary. I mean, it could have been completely smoothed over, and then the plot would have, wouldn't have been as weak as, a lot of people have criticized.
To be honest with you, Yoshi, this show has never really been good at cringe comedy.
Yeah, I
It's about
know.
Showstopper.
I don't need to be reminded of Newbie Dash for that.
And you certainly don't need to be reminded of Equestria games.
Well, that one moment, but that was it.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, I
I
have
love-
to.
I love Newbie Dash, but the impersonation scene was a bit much.
Yeah,
I admit that was definitely much of that episode.
yeah.
Yeah, they could have taken that out and we wouldn't have lost anything.
To be fair, I didn't have that much of a problem with the comedy in this episode as much as I had in Newbie Dash.
Yeah, same
And
here.
That's true. Yeah.
And you all know how much I like Newbie Dash, which like,
Which you don't.
basically.
Anyways.
Yeah, my problem is that it just completely felt unnecessary to the point it's like, I mean, I'm not gonna be too hard on what's his name? Josh Hamilton? Yeah, is that his name?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, granted, this is his second episode for the show, so I'm not gonna be hard on him for that. Yeah,
I
so
think there are writers who are doing 1 or 2 episodes and they actually did a great job.
yeah,
Yeah.
With one exception.
Mm.
Sorry, I will keep pointing it out. I'm sorry. It's just the fact that this one was just not in that theme, because this writer has written for other cartoons. The other one not. I'm sorry.
And besides, he wrote for the cartoons more the action-driven, while MLP is more slice-of-life driven.
Yeah, but still, it's a cartoon.
kind of
That's
like-
something else than a sitcom.
Anyways. You got anything else to say, Yoshi? Yoshi?
I guess we take that cited as a no.
To little expand on the weak plot, this whole time when I wrote...
like does kind the episode done without the cringe comedy, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can see that.
To also
Anyways.
expand on this point of the weak plot, because I think Looney pointed that out, right?
Yeah.
Looney started
Edit.
it and then I finished it.
Yeah, because this whole time, because I read the synopsis, I was hoping not to go the obvious route, and the episode went with the obvious route.
Like, would have been better if the dragons and the changelings had a past history with each other.
Like, canonize the kind of story they had with the yaks in the comic, kinda.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, but if they would actually do something like that, you would actually have the problem that some people would consider the works of the comics as canon, because they actually
they
tackle a
already
similar
have-
plot.
No. We don't mean that directly. I mean, like, a similar story. Like,
Because that we kinda got that few times, like, okay,
well,
not that it's not the same story with the Lunar Micro and the Royal Problem, but there are similarities between them.
Okay, but what was the time spent between those two and this episode with that book?
Okay,
well,
I'll give you that.
well, it's not the
That's what I meant. If the comic would be like from maybe 1 or 2 years, then I wouldn't have the problem with that idea. But in that short term, better not.
Well, it's not the first time that the comics were tied into the show. Like, remember in our Point of View where the White School reunion was brought up?
Yeah.
That is actually one of the storylines in the Friends Forever comics.
I think
Yeah, but
that was-
still,
that
it's
comic. I think didn't that comic come after the point of view?
No, it was
No, wait, that come before, right? Sorry.
I have no idea about the comics, to be honest, but that was something I actually knew about grandly.
Anyways, you got anything else, Yoshi? Yoshi?
Yeah.
Silence speaks louder than words.
No, I think that's it.
Okay,
Alright.
do you want to give out your... Okay, first off, we do have 2 ratings from people who didn't show up today. Yeah, we do.
Did Bloomy actually set your negative?
Yeah, I have.
Yes.
Oh, you did? Okay, sorry.
That's okay. Crimson.
I do have a feeling we forgot someone.
No, we didn't.
I think we've all gone.
No, everyone went. Astro went too, so.
Yep, everybody went.
Okay.
So anyways, Crimson gave this episode a 5 out of 5. He didn't explain why, but that's what he gave it. Kanata, who was in the chat right now, gave
Kanata.
Kanata.
he gave the episode a 2.5 out of 5. He liked Thorax's leadership problems. It's actually pretty good. The Opus' new mindset that some people struggle with when it comes to how things should be done and handled in general. That was nice. He didn't like how Spike being called by the key map felt, because it felt very forced and unnecessary. Like maybe
I can see that, yeah.
Like maybe you could have saved that until like a future episode as like a surprise.
To be fair, I like the concept, but maybe you guys are right that it wasn't necessary in this particular episode.
No, it wasn't. I would have saved it to another episode, but it actually felt needed.
But the concept itself is actually pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a cool
And trying to be some work for my videos. Hey.
Yeah, it's a cool concept, but
if you really continue like that, Sharpie, then you will be like Keyframe.
What? Well, what is wrong with that?
Anyways, Yoshi, do you want to give out your rating?
Right. So, do I go now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you gotta give your rating.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Also, I just want to say, #SharpFrame.
Well then, I just became another ship with Keyframe. Thank you.
Oh God. Sharpwood, you do realize that you kind of have your own Warframe with that name too, right? Sharpframe. Oh my God.
Are you referring to Ash and his passive, or Excalibur and his ultimate? Or
Yoshi.
maybe...
Continue, Yoshi.
Okay. So, I'm gonna be honest here. This episode is definitely gonna... I've already seen people saying some say it's a good episode, some say it's a bad episode, and some in the middle. For me, I think that this was a pretty great episode. I will admit that the cringe comedy was a bit unnecessary, and yeah, I mean, I can actually understand some of the arguments towards the map being unnecessary to the plot, but at the same time, I can see why it was included. So if I had to give this episode a final rating, it would probably be in the range of I think I'm going to be siding with Rose Pal on this, a 9 out of 10 or a 4.5 out of 5.
Alright, sounds good. 4.5. Alright, so... There we go. Sharpwit?
With my rating, I'm actually one of those the middle of the road, because as much as I like the humor in this episode, morally the meta humor, and I don't have that much problem with the cringe humor in this episode, and also there's a little bit the expansion on the Ember and Thorax, and maybe also the map. The predictability of this episode, including the friendship problem and stuff, and the very weak conclusion, don't leave me that good of a mark on me. So I would say 3.
And
yeah.
Okay.
Who's typing in the background?
Yeah, can I say that?
Probably me, sorry.
Yeah, Robot Looney just evolved into Keyboard Looney.
Really?
Wait.
Keyboard Looney. Oh God.
Sorry.
That's alright. Wait a minute.
I forgot to mute myself.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Keyboard roll? I thought that roll went to Canada.
No, Ven. Kanata is still the equivalent of the SMG of a Warframe. Kanata.
Anyways, as for me,
Oh God.
I can understand that this episode has a mixed reception. Some really liked it, some really didn't like it, and some thought it was like middle of the road. As for me, I'm kind of in the middle, but at the same time, I'm leaning more towards the dislike category, but just slightly. I do admit it had some good bits here and there, but I'm giving this one episode a 2.5 out of 5.
Oh boy!
A pretty low 2.5. And I'm gonna say this one more thing. Oh my gosh, this episode, at least to me anyway, was straight up boring. Like,
Yeah, I can give you that.
Especially, yeah, the first half, the entire first half of the episode was just straight up boring. That's my 2 cents. So, yeah,
Well, there are episodes who are doing the classic tropes good, and there are episodes that are good doing the classic tropes bad. This one is actually more of the second tier category.
This is more on the second vote.
Because let's face it, we had like Royal Problem and the Perfect Pair, which also had the classic tropes, but they did a lot better job in this case.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, but to be honest, if we would keep that trend with the more interesting parts in that regard, to be honest, then MLP would kind of burn out like that.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
So I was actually okay with the episode being structured like it is.
Yeah, I mean, we do have episodes like this every now and again, and that's fine. It's just not gonna do anything for me personally.
Mm.
So, Looney?
Yeah, between the cringe comedy, the forced use of the map, and just how it follows the typical formula for Spike episodes, I'd have to give this one a very harsh 2.5 out of 5. The meta humor was good, and then what the lecture scene was awesome, but it wasn't enough to save it for me, sorry.
Well
then.
Well, granted, 2.5 in the 5-star rating is absolutely middle.
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
So it's weak, but still in the middle of the road.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. But, Violet?
Well, honestly, I had to give this episode a 3.5 because, for one thing, despite the fact that I do have problems with Spike in the episode, and I admit the multiple transition between scenes is a little bit tiring at times. Still, I still find the episode enjoyable to watch in my own way.
I see a point.
And that's really all that matters in the end for me when it comes to watching MLP, the enjoyment.
True. Scapegoat?
I mean, in the end, it's still a cartoon.
Yes.
I'd give it a 3.5 as well.
Okay.
Overall, pretty good. Had some good ideas going on.
Yeah, I see what you're coming from. And let's...
Yeah, I'd just give this a 2.5 out of 5. Like, I want to like it, but I mean, it's the Spike and Thorax episode I've been waiting for, and also the Spike and Ember episode I've been waiting for, and maybe it's just a case of overhype.
Yeah, it could be. It's not the first time it happened. David?
Okay, for me, I'm actually stuck in the middle for this one. So my rating is 3 out of 5.
Okay.
Because it had its moments, but I was really upset about how they did Spike in the episode. You know, I was just like, again with the Spike issue, you know, we thought it was much better, you know. So yeah, 3 out of 5 for me.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Leon?
Well, I'm actually more the surprise in the group right now because I actually find the episode pretty good, honestly. I have to admit, it wasn't as thrilling as the previous episodes, but like I said, we bound to have actually someone who with an episode which turned down the tone a bit. So I would actually go with 4 out of 5. It would have been a 4.5 out of 5 if it would be for a little bit lackluster for me personally with the foreshadowing. If they promise, let's put it like that, if they would really build on this episode, then I would even give it a little bit better rating on than 4.
Yeah, I can see that.
What was that, Sharpie?
No. I PM'd you about that, but you know.
I know.
Alright, Astro?
I swear, first Konata with Konatata, now you with Sharpie. It can keep going like that. I kind of like this. I'm kind of acting like the A and Y in the group here.
Well, it doesn't help the fact that you're actually German.
Exactly.
Well, no. He's not the ANY, because if he would be ANY, he would, instead of being here, he would send messages, voice messages to someone.
Oh, yeah.
Don't give me ideas, buddy.
Well, this is not Skype.
Astro?
You ready?
What's your rating, Astro?
I know this might sound weird or shocking. For me, it's around a 4.8, honestly.
It can't be.
Okay, so almost perfect?
It was almost perfect. The only reason what's not perfect, number one, would be...
Astro?
Hmm?
Astro?
What a 4.5 do?
I said a 4.8.
Yeah, but
that's not from the scale we're using.
We only do
So 4.5 would be the next
then.
best.
Okay, 4.5.
Yep.
The only downside was one, making a stupid play of making a scene look dumb. Two, looking back, there is some frames that, I'm not gonna lie, I'm looking back at it. There is when Ember and Forex land in front of Spike. There is a animation error.
Oh?
Was it?
Okay.
If you go frame by frame, Forax's legs are straightened while falling, and then they only bend slightly, but not where the joint is, but right in the middle of between the hoof and the joint, in between that, which is not normal.
I didn't even notice that.
Well, to be honest, I actually
added to the same counter.
Well, to be honest, for me, those animation errors are more like Easter eggs for us, so to speak.
So,
At this point, yeah.
And also,
more work for little Shy.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah, Bing, that counts as a sin.
also the last thing is basically the muffin. I'm sorry, you cannot destroy a muffin like that. If you do, you get the tranquil.
Oh God.
Now, if you excuse me, I need to get back into the room because someone left my sniper on the ground. God damn it, Becky!
Anyway. Alright, so overall, the group rating for a triple threat is a 3.5 out of 5.
Sounds reasonable.
Giving the mixed rating from us.
Yeah, that's doable.
But I'm still baffled about what was the third threat.
The third threat was the changelings taking over, attacking the dragons, the dragons attacking the changelings.
My money goes for the map.
No, it's
oh God, the map is the threat enemy. Oh God.
No, the threat was,
the map now.
This is what I think was the threat. The threat was Spike was worried that Thorax is changing kind was going to attack the dragons, and the dragons are going to attack the changelings, so that's two of the threats. The third threat was actually friendship. That's what they were trying to get at. Because
okay, you mean
because
like
Spike was going to lose two friends.
yeah.
That was the triple threat.
Yeah.
so more like in a symbolic way, not like in a literal way.
It's like Avatar. It's like the Avatar, one of the Avatar episodes with the three. Because one of the I forgot the.
Oh, I know which one you mean. Yeah.
The main character is friends with three different factions: water, air, and ground. Yeah, ground.
Earth.
That's it.
Ground.
Ground. Earth. I don't know.
Close enough.
Close enough.
That's enough. But
Here come the angry Avatar fans.
yeah, in that episode, Yank lost all three of his friends in that episode. That was a triple. This one, friendship, dragons, and changelings are the three threats.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about it, it does make sense. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was thinking about the triple threat was the to entertain, to take care of Thorax, take care of Ember, and also take care of the friendship problem.
Exactly. That's the three
that's
threats.
true, actually. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I'm actually gonna show. I am actually gonna show Neon later after this call. The frame that I found
Okay.
as well.
Anyways,
It's just weird.
anyways, I think it's time we should wrap this up here. Thank you all.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much for joining us. Tune in next week. Well, next time anyway. We're not sure when exactly the day is gonna be. But the episode we'll be talking about next is gonna be something that I'm actually pretty excited for. It's gonna be Campfire Tales.
Oh boy, the trio
This
of
sounds like a fun
sisters.
episode.
Trio of sisters.
Yep.
Yep, that's
No,
And we all know how that worked out last time.
yeah, but I'm so excited.
Oh no.
Guys, I'm gonna. Well, it was nice to have you been in this call. Suddenly, my door's open. Pinky has just taken a pancake. Gotta go.
Oh boy.
And okay. With that being said, we'll see you all next time. Peace.
Peace.
Peace. See ya.
See you later.
See ya.
everybody.
Yeah.
Bye.
Have a nice day.
Bye.